What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. Today we are running a fun team featuring Cresselia, Shadow Feraligatr, and Skeledirge. This team was suggested to me during my live Twitch stream, and this is another team that a viewer suggested to me. So if you want to suggest me some teams, I'm always open to suggestions, and you can feel free to watch me battle live over on Twitch, and we interact and have some fun over there. But this team I thought sounded fun, and I thought it might be just like a little bit of a meme team at first. I wasn't sure if it was going to work well, and you're going to see this team function very well. And we're going to get straight into the battles. Cresselia, a very bulky Pokemon in the lead, and both Pokemon in the back, Feraligatr as well as Skeledirge, have a lot of sweep potential. We're going to see Feraligatr more put on pressure with its charge attacks, and Skeledirge can put on more pressure with both Incinerate as well as its charge attacks. And one thing with this team is it's a little bit soft to a few things. It's a little bit soft to Mandibuzz. So if you see a Mandibuzz, it's going to be a little bit tough to win. But we're going to see, I think, at least one in this video, and we'll try to dance around it as best as we can. And then also Lickitung is quite safe against this team. So I'm sure we'll see a Lickitung at some point, and we'll see how we're able to manage it. But yeah, this team was a ton of fun to run, and it's always cool running something unique, something a little bit out of the ordinary, and spicing it up a little bit. So let's get into the battle commentary. You see, nothing too crazy there as Cresselia knocks out the Deoxys defense in the lead. But yikes, here we go. This is what we don't want to see, a Mandibuzz against this team. We are triple weak to Mandibuzz, but at least we get off a Moonblast, and we get a debuff. So that's something. Getting off the debuff is really nice because now we can take this move a little bit better. I did not want to give my opponent a big Snarl down there, but unfortunately there's a Lantern in the back, so not only is it something that we're triple weak to with the Mandibuzz, it's something that we're double weak to in the back with the Lantern there. So really unfortunate for us, and sorry, there might be a little bit of a pause there as I had a little bit of a stutter in my recording, so apologies if there was a bit of a pause break right there for a moment. But we're back in action as Skeledirge is now going to try and fight back against the Lantern and the Skeledirge, but there is just too much health here. Lantern's going to get off another Surf, and the Mandibuzz is still very healthy. So game one here. This was the first game we ran with this team, and I'm like, yikes, is this how everything's going to go with this team? Hopefully not. But we do decide to stick it out, and things get a little bit better, you will see. So Skeledirge trying its best to fight back here, but Mandibuzz can just simply go for an Aerial Ace at this point. This Mandibuzz was actually opting for Shadow Ball, which was interesting. So a cool moveset for our opponent, and we will try to come back from that loss here and go on to the next one, trying to reach that expert rank in the Go Battle League. I think I saw on social media the first person hit Legend this season already. Crazy how good some people are at this game. We save swap our Feraligatr, and they stay in for a while, and then they come in with a Zoom roll, and I'm thinking, okay, I can potentially flip this, especially with this head start, so we're going to try and do that. We're over farming, and we actually get a free Shadow Claw sneak there. Trying to make this uncomfortable for a Zoom roll. I shield, it's the play rough, that's good for us. Gonna throw one Shadow Claw and then throw the Hydro Cannon for proper timing. 2-turn versus 3-turn fast attack. And then I'm gonna do one and throw, oh no, I'm not. I'm actually gonna overfarm again. And now I have the double Hydro. So if my opponent elects to use a shield, I can throw back-to-back here. And they do shield, so I throw the back-to-back on Charge Attack Party. They're gonna have to double shield now and go down a shield if they wanna knock out my Feraligatr. And at this point, I'm okay with this, because you can take out my Feraligatr. Now your Sableye doesn't have any shields. So now I'm okay with this. I come in with Cress. They give up Switch. And with shields down, Skeledirge can potentially go to town. We're going to shield, respect the Shadow Ball here. And because they do go for the Shadow Ball, this is going to allow me to overfarm by 2. Because this is only the Disarming Voice. And I know it's just the Disarming Voice. So I'm actually going to take the Disarming Voice. And now he's completely dry, so I actually do an undercharge here. I don't know if this was completely necessary, but I wanted to come out with a Shadow Ball for some reason. I don't know if this is completely necessary. And then I'm like thinking, I want to have some energy on Crest, so I undercharge, hoping I can like swap Crest, but I can't swap Crest. So I don't know if that was... I think that was kind of a dumb play, to be honest. I don't think that really gave me anything. But I guess I did give maybe slightly less farm for the Sableye, and I do get off the Moonblast, which is massive. But Azumarill is still there, so that's scary. Azumarill is still there. Cress is getting really low. Oh, man, Azumarill gets to a move. Is this going to knock out our Cresselia? It's just an Ice Beam. We hang on. And Cresselia gets the win in a crazy game. We were ABA weak to that Shadow Sableye lead. We swapped straight into our hard answer Feraligatr. Not even a hard answer, just our best answer. And luckily, they only had a like soft counter in Azumarill. Not even a soft counter, just like a neutral Pokemon. And we were able to get an advantage out of that matchup, which allowed our back line to overcome the Sableye. So, nice little win there. Here we go against Chun. Chun is an amazing player. Oh, man, I'm blanking on which country he's from. If it's Germany, I want to say it's Germany. But, yeah, amazing player. Always runs unique teams, and he's going to safe swap the Trevenant. And I actually did remember his team because he destroyed me with this team yesterday, and I remember there was a Whimsicott in the back that just totally core broke me. So I'm like, oh, we got this one. We got this one. Especially since it's a Water Gun Lantern. This is even less comfortable for Chun because it's not going to be that easy for Lantern to get rid of Feraligatr without taking a lot of damage in the process. So we are perfectly comfortable just spamming off Hydro Cannons here, trying to get rid of this Lantern. Lantern's going to be forced to expend energy here. A Surf should be enough to knock us out. And we can very, very simply just come in with Cresselia, see the Whimsicott, come in Skeledirge, and the game's over. Chun actually plays it out. I thought he was going to top left here, but he is going to fight this one out. And Skeledirge is going to eat the Moonblast. I'm going to do one and throw. I think I could have just farmed down right there, but I decide why not throw the charge attack, get the shield, and I think now Chun elects to top left, so GG's to him. Not much he could have done there. Just kind of a rock, paper, scissors type win for us in that one. And I'll fast forward ahead. Next opponent here. So, Lickitung. Now, Cresselia doesn't do that bad against Lickitung. It's slightly favorable for the Licky, but in the Zero Shield matchup, you can actually win. I don't know if this is the best play per se, but it's what we go with here. And again, this was our first set running this team, so I think what I started doing eventually is just staying in and playing out the Zero Shield scenario against Lickitung. I think I prefer that. But it looks like in this situation, first time we saw Lickitung lead, I decided to pivot out, maybe trying to catch a move. So, a little bit of a risky play, but this works out. We get a shield advantage, which is pretty nice. And they're going to throw Ice Beam. They are going to get a little bit of a farm down. And then I come in and I lag a turn, which is unfortunate. I probably should have just thrown the Grass Knot instantly. But we throw the Grass Knot now. Not sure if this will quite knock out. Azumarill might hang on to this Grass Knot. Yeah, it gives us a little extra farm, which is kind of nice. Lickitung will probably come in. Lickitung's got a lot of energy. And looks like we were going for the Grass Knot here, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think I might as well be going for the Moonblast because Lickitung's going to get to 2 moves first anyway. So I might as well have gone for the harder hitting Moonblast here. Going for the Grass Knot doesn't really make a whole lot of sense by me there. But it's fine. We're just going to put it all in the back of Feraligatr. And sometimes we've been saving shields for Skelly. This time we're saving shields for Gator. And we're hoping that the energy we can generate with this Gator is going to come in handy in the back. We're just going to keep on farming. Hope that whatever's in the back is not going to want to eat a Hydro Cannon. That's kind of our win condition. So we're going to overfarm maybe something like, I don't know, a Gligar. And we can overfarm. We're up to maximum energy here. Hoping Hydro Cannon knocks out. It does knock out. And look at that. It's a Shadow Gligar. We're at the double Hydro Cannon here. And check this out. I actually thought the Lickitung had fainted. So I do 1 extra just for extra damage. And the Lickitung was still there. So I almost throw the game. But luckily my Shadow Claw knocks out before the Licks. I think I got really lucky there. I don't know if Lickitung even lagged a turn upon entry. It looked like it might have. So I think I actually got really lucky not to throw that game in the end. Because I didn't actually think the Lickitung was still there. I thought I had knocked it out. So I should have thrown that Hydro one earlier. And I almost threw that game by doing that extra Shadow Claw. That was Too close for comfort, that's for sure. We get the Dino 2680, and it's on to the next set. Here we go. Yeah, very fun team. The Gator boys. Double Gator. Next battle, here we go. Cresselia into Azumarill. Positive lead for Cresselia, of course. Two very bulky Pokemon. We see the Stunfisk, and this, like, just kind of caught me off guard. So I probably should have just gone Feraligatr right away, but I hesitated. So because I hesitated so much, I decided to just bank up a bunch of energy, take a move, and then go Feraligatr. And this is a game I remember I played very sloppily. So, like, I kind of lost track of energy. I'm not sure if you even had the Earthquake there, but I overfarm, go up to double Hydro Cannon, and gonna fire off the first one. He actually shields. So I fire off another Hydro Cannon, expecting him to just, like, let it go at this point. But no, he double shields. And I'm like, okay. The switch timers are desynced. I figure he might bait me and then, like, go Azu. So I don't want to fall for the catch. So I'm patient. And now I can actually bank all this energy, go back in Cress. And I feel like we're in a good spot. We've got all the energy banked on Feraligatr. And our opponent actually just decides to top up. So a really funky game there. I played kind of sloppy, but we had such a dominant, like, situation with all that energy banked that I think our opponent was just like, nah, I'm out of here. GG. GG. And searching for that next opponent. Battle starting. Who we got? Let's see. It's going to be Cresselia into the Charjabug. Now, Charjabug is a bit of a core breaker, right? Because it beats both our Cresselia and our Feraligatr. So this is one of those times where you're ABA weak, so you just kind of have to stay in, sacrifice the Cresselia, and try to chip this as much as you can. And hopefully, the Feraligatr will be more free in the back once the Charjabug is out of the picture. That's kind of the goal, right? And we actually get a shield advantage. That's about as much as we can ask for here, getting some sort of advantage out of this matchup. And if you have a good ranked Cresselia, you should be able to actually barely survive this second X-Scissor and reach a second Moonblast, which is really nice because it makes this a more manageable farm down for the Skeledirge here. So we land the next Moonblast. Now Skeledirge comes in. They actually give up Switch, and I'm thinking, if he's willing to just pivot out, right, he probably has another answer for the Skeledirge. So I think I'm just going to commit to staying in for now because I doubt, especially with a Charjabug lead, right, you're probably not going to be weak to Skeledirge in the back. I mean, it's not out of the question, right? Sometimes people might run ABA weak to things. So I tank the move, then I come in Gator, and I'm going to be willing to, like, shield and overfarm here because I want to make sure I have energy for that Charjabug. So I'm going to shield. I do get baited by the Ice Beam, which is unfortunate, but I overfarm. I do 7 Shadow Claws, so I'm at over double Hydro Cannon. Azumarill's probably going to have to let this go. And then I'm expecting Charjabug to come back in. I'm going to do 1 and throw. Expecting him to put up the shields. But here's the thing. I'm 2 away, and I think they're still a Volt Switch away. So I just go for throwing it right away. It's a charge attack priority. And now we still have our shield to hide behind, which is really nice. And it's their own Feraligatr, and it's a normal Feraligatr. So I'm thinking, okay, I have a Disarming Voice loaded. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chip it with Shadow Claws, and then I'll have my move banked. I still have my shield, but check this out. Feraligatr says, don't worry, Dirge. I got your back, bro. I'm just going to close this out by myself while I'm here. Get to another Hydro Cannon on 1 HP. And Feraligatr just swept the entire team. Holy cow. Swept the entire team. Granted, like, Azumarill was and Charjabug were kind of low, of course, but took down all 3 Pokemon. Yeah, Feraligatr can be an absolute menace in the right situations. Cresselia into Dirge. Tough lead. So I'm going to pivot straight into my hard counter because if I swap Dirge into Dirge, that's just not comfortable, especially like behind energy, right? Because I just give him a free opportunity to Shadow Ball first. So that's just not asking for a good situation, in my opinion. This also isn't great because Wigglytuff can simply shield once, take a Hydro Cannon, and then charm all the way down. So I don't love this situation either. I'm like thinking here, do I come in Cress to absorb this? Because I know it's useless against Dirge anyway. But I'm like, nah, I think I'll come in Dirge, I'll tank the move, and then I'll farm down and get the energy. So I wasn't really sure what was the better move. I think either could have made sense. What's going to come in? It's going to be Feraligatr. So we get kind of triple punished here. Has an answer all the way through. I swap, he swaps, and this is just such, especially without Future Sight. If I had Future Sight, would still have some play here, but without it, I think we're kind of toast. I am up a shield, so we're not going to call it quits yet. We're going to play this out. Moonblast just not doing enough. It'd be one thing if Moonblast like could two-shot it, but as you see, the next Moonblast isn't even going to threaten to knock out. They can afford to take it. So that's going to be tough for us. Moonblast connects. They still have the shield. I do get the attack fell. Just kind of nice. Honestly, maybe if I had let this go and then incinerated down, maybe I get 2 incinerates. That could have been a play. That could have been a win con. If I like let it go, the problem is it might have not even knocked out. So maybe I couldn't have done that. So yeah, GG. There might have been a win condition there somewhere. Some 5-head play, but we weren't able to find it. Well played by the opponent. So that was our first loss of that set. And we'll skip on ahead. Skip to my Lou. Jimbo Slice. It's a funny name. Another Azumarill lead. Let's go. And, you know, shout out to Fishy Legs, because I was wanting to run a Cresselia team, and he said he was actually seeing a lot of Azumarill in this Elo range, so what do you know? It worked out. We did see quite a few Azumarills in the lead against our Cresselia. And they land the Hydro Pump. We are going to bank the energy, come in Skeledirge here. We do resist the Charms. Going to go for the Disarming Voice. Very dominant matchup for Dirge. Not so dominant that you can like incinerate all the way down. I think you do have to throw that Disarming Voice and then go for the farm down. But we're going to be able to just simply do that. Take a move. Go for the full farm down. Come out with some energy. Come out with a lot of energy, actually. I think I have the Shadow Ball plus the Voice. Or maybe I'm one shy still. Let's see. Azumarill probably comes back. Yeah, so I'm actually shy of Shadow Ball plus Voice. So I could have gone for double Voice, but I wasn't sure in the moment if double Voice did more than one Shadow Ball. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. And then this is kind of awkward. But I do have a ton of energy banked. So Charjabug's a bit of a core breaker here for my remaining 2 Pokemon. But I'm just thinking in my head, how do I win this game? So we're going to have to shield here, of course. And then we are going to throw after 1 for proper timing, throw in between. And I'm going to do something kind of cheeky here. I'm going to do 1 Shadow Claw and then swap. And by doing this, I can actually transfer the Volt Switch damage. So I get that Shadow Claw worth of damage. And then the Volt Switch applies to my Cresselia instead of the Feraligatr. And then I'm only like 1 Cycle Cut away from the Grass Knot here. So I know I can simply just do 1 Cycle Cut, go for the Grass Knot. And now the Azumarill is going to be forced to throw energy at my Cresselia to knock it out. And I know my Feraligatr's relatively close to a move. So Azumarill's forced to throw its energy. And I'm 3 away. Just going to go for it right away to knock out the Azumarill. Really good game there. That was a fun one. That was kind of a dynamic game. We had a good lead. They had a little bit of a core breaker in the back. So a fun one there. I think we got 1 more battle to wrap things up. Oh, I got a little bit ahead of myself there. Here we go. Potentially the final battle. Jocko Loco, amazing player. Worlds qualifier. Annihilate. One good thing about this team is like all 3 Pokemon have some nice play against Annihilate. He swaps Lickitung. Lickitung safe swap, very awkward for us to deal with. So what I do sometimes is I will throw a lot of energy at it with Cresselia. And then I'll eventually dip into the Skeledirge because although Lickitung has the super effective licks, right, it doesn't have any charge attack pressure against our Skeledirge. So once we've chipped Lickitung, it can only power whip us, really, for resisted grass damage. And the body slam is double resistance. That's not going to do much at all. This should only be a body slam, I believe. And we can take that easily. Expecting Annihilate to potentially come back in. I'm going to go for the Disarming Voice here. This will probably grab a shield from the Annihilate. And now I have a move. I'm debating whether I want a shield to get off my move here. And I decided to let it go because I think Annihilate actually has 2 Night Slashes. So I didn't want to lose the charge attack priority if I shielded. Come in with Cresselia. Annihilate has a lot of energy. He throws at the Shadow Ball. I decided to try and call the bait. I feel like I have 2 shields. This might be a likely bait. And I do call the bait. That's big for me. I go straight for the Grass Knot just to put on the pressure. Because even if he calls it, it'll put him kind of low. And I get the final shield. And at this point, I'm comfortable just using Cresselia as a damage sponge and putting 2 shields on my Feraligatr. And I'm feeling pretty good here. Got to shield something at this point. I know it's just a Night Slash, but got to preserve some health. And it is a Cresselia in the back. And this is where Shadow Feraligatr is just so nice with that super effective Shadow Claw damage and the spamminess of Hydro Cannon. Look how much this does to Cresselia. Basically, will 2-shot after the Shadow Claws. And Jocko Loco just kind of understanding that the game's over. Doesn't bother throwing the Grass Knot. And that is a G to the G. He could have thrown the Grass Knot, but I simply would have just overfarmed a little bit more and then outpaced the Annihilate before it could get to a threatening move. So there we go. That was back-to-back 4-1 sets with the double Gator team, the Gator Boys. Not sure what I'll exactly title this video, but double Alligator team or the Gator Boys. But a 4-1 set there nonetheless. We catch a Pokemon as our reward. And let's see what our ELO is. We catch a Lickitung. 27-21, very close to expert rank. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.